Jacob, review the Babadook! The Babadook! Please review the Babadook! Review the Babadook! Review the Babadook! I've only been back for a week and you guys are already bugging me about this stupid movie called The Babadook, and I don't understand. I don't. Anyways, so yeah, today I'm going to be reviewing a movie. You may have heard of it, you may have not heard of it. It's called The Babadook. So as you can probably tell, The Babadook is a very popular film. It gained its popularity back when it came out in October on video on demand and in limited theaters. This is the one horror movie that people are talking about, they're raving about it. It's really popular. And there is a reason for this film's popularity, and it's because it's actually very, very good. So as you can see, I have the Babadook Deluxe packaging. I'm sure a lot of you have this. This just came out last Tuesday, April 14th, and I got the deluxe packaging. It's like it's kind of like the storybook from the movie, kind of, and then it has the pop-up thing. Like, look at that. Oh my god, it's so scary! Ah! Oh wait, oh, okay. Well, it says, if it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. And yes, this is an Australian film, so the proper way to pronounce it is the Babadook. But, I mean, as a true US citizen and a citizen of the America and, of the red, white, and blue, I, Jacob Palacio, hereby decide to call this the Babadook. This movie is about a single mother played by Essie Davis, and she's having trouble trying to raise her kid who's getting into trouble at school and everything. And things haven't really been the same ever since her husband died, and I believe it was a car crash. The mother-son relationship isn't really working out nicely for these two, but one night the son wants his mom to read him a bedtime story before he goes to bed. So she grabs a book that literally just came out of nowhere called Mr. Babadook. She has no idea what this is. And she begins reading this creepy book about this guy named Mr. Babadook and how he's going to come into their house and everything, and it's really creepy. And I have a feeling you know what's going to happen from there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about this before I spoil anything else for you guys. This movie's creepy, dude. It is creepy. I saw this very back when it came out in October, and it scared me. I'm not going to lie. I was literally on the edge of my seat, especially towards like the third act of the film, which is really creepy. This is a very, very well made movie, and there's some awesome acting from Essie Davis, and even the kid as well. He wasn't too bad. Except there were a couple parts where I wanted to punch that kid in the face because he's really annoying and he wasn't listening to his mom, and he's just annoying. But then, like, towards the third act of the film, you actually feel bad for him, and you're like, you know, you're not a bad kid. This movie's very, very creepy, and if you watch it, it will probably scare you. But here's the thing about this movie. It's not just a scary movie about a monster traumatizing a mother and her son. There's a lot more to it. I mean, you can watch the film and think you're watching a mother and a son being traumatized by a monster, but essentially that's not really what it's about. The movie actually has a much deeper message to it, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. I usually don't like giving out spoilers in my reviews, so I'm gonna have you guys figure that out for yourselves. But for those of you who like to think and analyze their movies and what they actually mean, it's not that hard. It's actually kind of obvious what the deeper message of the movie is, but it makes the movie not only just a horror film, but just a very good film in general. And that's what I really liked about this film, is that it does a good job portraying itself as a horror film, but it also does a good job portraying the message it's trying to tell at the same time. But as for the Babadook himself, he's very creepy. He's one of those dudes where you look at him and you're just like, I do not want to be your friend. As a matter of fact, you actually kind of scare the shit out of me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stay as far away from you as possible. Whenever he popped up on the screen, you're just like, oh god, please go away. I was enjoying this movie, you had to come and make it scary again. And you know it's a well-made film when you're actually scared of the antagonist, and people, whether you liked it or disliked this movie, you will admit you're scared of the Babadook. That comes to my next thing, actually. People who didn't like this movie. Ever since this movie came out back, like, in October, I'd say, like, towards the beginning of this year, people have been kind of crapping on this movie for some reason, and I've actually been seeing a lot more reviews of people not liking this film, and a lot less reviews of people who did like this film. And I think it's because the more general audience actually got a chance to see the Babadook since they heard so many people talking about it, and they watched the movie and they don't think it's as scary as people are saying it is, and it's because, well, let's admit that this movie is way overhyped. But a movie being overhyped isn't necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't make it a bad movie, but a lot of people just didn't seem to think it was as scary as other people are saying it is. And I think it's also because of the fact that a lot of people didn't quite understand the message that this movie was trying to show you. A lot of people said they hated the ending, and I thought I hated the ending too until I found out what it actually meant. So you gotta kinda, analyze the movie a little bit more and, try to find out what it actually is trying to tell you. But I think just alone as a horror movie, the movie is scary. I don't know if I'm just a big chicken, but I thought this movie was very scary. What I also like about this film is that it doesn't really show the Babadook too much. You don't really get to see his face in the film, which I kinda like about it because it keeps your imagination going. But there's one scene in this movie where you can clearly see his face, and let's just say he looks like a hipster Jeff the Killer on steroids. That's the best way to describe him, and yeah, he's creepy. Did I already mention that? He's creepy. And there's also this one scene in the movie which I really liked where the mom's sitting down watching TV in the middle of the night, and she's watching like an old movie from the 20s, and the Babadook just comes out of nowhere and pops up inside the movie and goes along with it. I thought that part was very neat. In fact, there's a lot of parts in this movie that were very neat, and personally, I was entertained throughout the whole thing. Another reason why people probably didn't like this film was that it took a long time to build up and actually, get to the scary part. But again, follow my advice. Analyze the movie more. You'll like it a lot better, I promise you. I also read something very interesting online that the film is very, very similar to that of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And I also read that The Shining is one of the films that highly influenced this movie. And I thought it was very neat that they threw in a couple of Easter eggs here and there for fans of The Shining. This film is directed by Jennifer Kent, and it's the first movie she's ever done. It's her directorial debut, and I'm honestly very excited to see what other films she makes in the future. Whether they're scary or not, I just want to see more movies from this chick, because she knows how to make a movie. The Babadook is a very creepy psychological horror film that is not only scary, but it's very well acted, very well directed, and very well made, and it's overall just a very good film, and I'm going to give the film a 4.5 out of 5. I really like this film, guys. I thought it was very scary. Hopefully you thought the same too. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I highly recommend this movie. This is a horror film that you must watch, and it's personally one of my favorite movies of 2014. Alright guys, I got that review out of the way. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Do not forget to leave a comment down below on what movie I should review next, and I will see you guys later.